pussy. Hey, yeah, wine and dine me, private jet me, yacht day me, star day me, designer bag me, diamond ice me, brand new house me, 'cause I'm a wifey, magic pussy.
We're so proud of you, Meggie. So proud of you. We're so proud. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch? This is a podcast, a platform for Black women, women of color, to be able to come and, be able to represent themselves. And even more or less for season 2, we've actually even transitioned to even just more deeper depths of conversation between me and my co-host, Meggie. Meg's here. What's poppin'?
Hello, world. Welcome to Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch? That was my song that y'all heard on the intro. It's called Magic Pussy. You can find it on YouTube and private by Nutmeg. But for today's episode, we brought on a very special guest. Her name is Grace. She has magical hands, and she has blessed my scalp and the scalp of many of my friends. Highly recommended. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself, Grace, where you're from, how long you've been doing this, what's your specialty, etc.
Welcome to the show, Grace. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am BlessByGrace. I am the owner of BBG Studios. I specialize in natural hair care for all your natural hair care needs, meaning kinky hair, if you want your hair straight. I do not work with any chemicals besides hair color. What else? I've been doing this for about, say, 9 years now, since I was in high school. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I am located in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
And I'm in a private suite, meaning all appointments are one-on-one, unless you want to bring a friend and she's getting her hair done also, then we can have a girls' day.
Quick question before you continue. Has that always been like that, or was that because of COVID?
COVID.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, it's a one-on-one experience, and it's just me and you, and sometimes Paris, who is my doggy.
Great. Well, Grace, thank you for coming on today. We've been discussing natural hair and the importance of it in the Black community and how, it's lacking, more or less, so I had somebody else in mind to bring on the podcast, but I was like, actually, Grace is the one because of, you've been highly recommended. DJ, Jennifer, and Angie all still go to you, and they've been on the podcast too, and it was something completely unrelated to the topic at hand. But, thank you for coming, and we just gonna chat a little bit about the importance of Black hair care in America, in our society.
Yeah.
And so to catch you up real quick, Grace, the first question that I asked Meggie here, and once again, she's not necessarily responsible for everybody's opinion in the world, but she kind of gave her, feedback as well as how the general consensus may kind of go with it. But the first question that I asked her was this here. I asked her, why do Black women wear European style weave? Now, before going further, especially because me and you just meeting each other, I want you to know I don't have anything against weave. Okay, this was not this wasn't a bashing situation. That's not where this question came from. But it was more or less me just asking if Black women wear weave, why don't they just stick to, styles that would look closer to just say their natural look of the nappier, just say hair, as opposed to the straight. Like why is that, I guess, more celebrated? In my opinion, it seems like it's more celebrated. And it's not necessarily Black women's fault. I'm just asking, what is the reason? And then the second question, which you can just, I guess, transition to whenever we get to it, was what is actually considered being natural? Because that was also a thing that I guess Meggie even kind of taught me about in reference to having your actual hair, but doing the different things to straighten it, what's considered probably still natural straighten or unnatural straighten. So, yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. So I don't know where you wanted to dive in first, but
Let's start with the first question. Why do Black women wear European hair? It's a lot of reasons. It's sometimes it's just trendy. Girls just want to have fun.
Period.
You know, some women need it because, I mean, I won't say need it, but some women feel more comfortable with it because they have no hair or they're dealing with scalp issues,
right?
No medical issues, and they just, you know, they want to feel confident. They want to have hair in their head. What else? And yeah, and just more trendy. You know, some girls don't feel like they have to do it. Some girls feel like they have to do it because of maybe insecurity issues, but I don't think wearing European hair. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'll say. I mean, we've all seen white women wear braids
horribly,
and yeah, horribly. But I think hair is just hair, and you should have fun with it.
Now I'm going to interject because my response to that question was conditioning. Okay. Black women have been conditioned since as early as they can remember. Early Easter morning, there's a hot comb to their head and they getting their hair straightened out. Okay. And I also said it to the fact that this is the social standard of beauty. So I can ask you how you feel about those same topics, like based on conditioning and what the social standard of beauty is and how it affects us and our perception of ourselves today.
I mean, for me, I'll say growing up in a Haitian household, I am Haitian.
I see.
My mom used to make me believe that I had to have long, you know, straight hair. That sorry about that, guys.
Is that fair?
Give me 1 second.
We could cut that out.
Yeah. Got the questions.
Conditioning. Your mom has.
My mom used to, you know, make me believe that you know, we had to have long hair, and I think it was more of us not knowing our hair. So like seeing our hair and then seeing what we see on TV. Like I grew up watching Disney Channel.
Right.
My favorite movie was Little Mermaid, and I wanted some hair like Ariel.
Right.
Out, you know. Yeah. So I think it's more of, you know, representation also, like seeing what, you know, these girls have on TV, and, you know, like just seeing long straight hair and wanting to look like that, you know, because I mean Disney and other, you know, maybe celebrities, and seeing, you know, even in the Black community, like watching music videos and seeing like Aaliyah and Beyonce with this nice blonde long hair, you know, and wanting to look like, oh, I want to look like that, you know. There was representation of Black women with curly hair and with an afro.
Right.
Did have an afro. We had to tame it.
Right. Right.
But do you think that that's problematic, just in your opinion, in the sense of, because even just say the Beyoncés and the Aaliyahs and whoever's, they didn't like necessarily like wear it and be representation because that's just how their hair was. Like they fell in line with the conditioning, but was you know the just say the icon in another little girl's eyes who then followed suit with her. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm like, granted, I do understand you said, you know, you don't have a problem with the straight hair, but I guess is that problematic in the sense of it makes, just say, Black girls lose confidence in their own natural hair as opposed to just being able to choose either one because it's option?
I think in some cases, I think now more and more women are learning to accept their hair. They're trying to accept their hair. Like, okay, like this is how my hair is, and I wanna be more in it. You know,
you gotta make it work. You gotta make it work because that's what's on your head. That's what God gave you.
Right.
Go.
Yeah, exactly. Go. You know, and that I think for me as a stylist, I used to always wear rollies all the time, like back to back. Like, okay, I gotta get my hair done. My hair's not done if my hair's out. You know, or if it's out looking crazy, and the afro, not, you know, it's not done. I need to be pretty.
Yeah.
But, right. Trying to just wash my hair, condition it, and give it some love and style it myself. Like, you know, the way it should be. But now I think with more women, they're learning that like, okay, I do have options. I can wear my hair curly, or I can wear it straight. It's my, I can do whatever I want, or I can choose to wear a weave. But I more of learning getting to know your hair first before you condition yourself into saying, well, I'm ugly with my natural hair.
And I want to just piggyback or point out the Haitian community and its toxicity. Because I remember, because, when even today, you can have a twist out and then you go to your grandma's or you go to your auntie's house and it's like, you're not going to do nothing with your hair. Like, auntie, it's done already. It's done. And it's a lot of, retraining and reprogramming that we have to do collectively. It's going to take some time. But it's just something that, unfortunately, our parents, our mothers, our grandmas, aunties, all of them, they made it a point to say that your natural hair doesn't look good unless it's straight, So
yeah.
We in the era of a revolution. We in the year of Aquarius, okay? We're in the dawn of a new Aquarius.
But do you feel like and this is a question for both of y'all, do you feel like you're at a point for yourself personally, not the whole Black woman agenda, just you personally, do you feel strong enough about it where like you would teach your daughters otherwise, or would you just let them,
choose as they go? Grace, you can answer first.
Or even push it on them the same way that your mothers did, because I'm sure your mothers or whoever, just say the community, they weren't doing it like just because, but they were conditioned and they want you to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So they like, you need to, you feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm asking in that sense.
I'll say for our parents, it was more out of love, like how I don't, when my mom, she broke. And for her, it was like, like I never went to a hair salon. I never got my hair done. I never got, like I've always just had to look like this, wake up like this, or her sister would do each other's hair. For me, raising me, I'm the only girl in my family. I was raised with just boys.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was just okay. Well, you need to straighten your hair or braid it up, because we can't deal with it like this. Like it gets too nappy, it gets too hard. We can't manage it. So we're gonna straighten your hair. We're gonna perm your hair or relax your hair.
Right.
Early on, I can agree to that too. Grace, I didn't know you was the only girl. I'm the only girl too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But my mom, to answer the question, I will embrace the little nappy roots that come out of my daughter's hair. I will treat it like it's precious gold. I will teach my child how to love, whatever they have on their person. It's nothing that you can add to you that will make you better than what God created you. That's spiritual or whatever, but it is what it is, because we gotta be the change that we want to see in the world. So, I don't know if I'm gonna have kids, but if I do, it's gonna be a lot of things I did differently from my parents that I will do to my child in the future. I rebuke the creamy crack for as long as possible. It will not be in the household.
Same. I've even get a question, constantly. Do I relax hair? And the answer is always no. I do not relax hair, and I would not recommend you to anybody who relaxes hair either. I don't know. Problem.
Right.
We're just having a pause for that. Cue the soundtrack.
As for my kids, I want them to love themselves. Like just embrace you. Of course, me as a stylist, I'm gonna always have my daughter looking spiffy, like the best ever. But I also want her to. She's gonna know about her natural hair. She's gonna know how to manage her own hair. It's to that age, and she's going to embrace her hair. And after that, it's her problem when she's of course at the appropriate age.
Right.
But she's free to she'll be free to do what she wants to do with her hair after.
Let me ask y'all this: on the contrary, do you think it would be wrong if a parent, whether it was the generation of us growing up or our generation raising kids, whoever, do you think it would be wrong if they push the agenda for them to never have the European look? And once again, I'm not saying they have to wear just say a short fro, whatever their natural hair is, or even if they do wear weave, it has to be, just say a African hair looking style. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that would be wrong if a black parent forced that on their daughter?
I mean, people do what they want to do in their household. But I don't think it would be. I mean, I believe in freedom. So I mean, if you see a magazine and it is a European hairstyle and you say, I want to try that, then go for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you because you can't. I mean, I'm not gonna say in my household there will not be any European hairstyle because I love my laces. I love him. I like to do this. Like, even though you can do this with like a big old fro, but you like what you like.
Our hair is versatile. Like
exactly.
We are allowed to do whatever the hell we want to do with our hair. So today is my hair is straight. Tomorrow it might be curly.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think for us there is a European standard because I mean, like I said, some girls just want to have fun. And sometimes we don't want to color our own hair, or we don't want to, put heat on our own hair. Right. We want to wig, or want to play with some hair.
But do neither one of y'all really answered? Do you think it's wrong if a parent forced that on their kid though? No, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, the parent. I'm just saying anybody. Do you think like if somebody was like, no, she ain't getting that. Put the puffy stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not getting it straight, like never, like until she 18 or whatever out the house. Yeah, but like that's the standard, no. Like that'd be wrong.
I don't think so. I mean, because there's a lot of things you can't do at a certain age. So if you want that in your household, if you don't want to see that in your household, then then I guess that's
so you almost kind of even look at it almost like a kid getting a tattoo or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's like once you of age, you make your own decision, then whatever.
Right. I'm gonna say no too because you have to look at like people who have like dreadlocks and Rastafaris. Yeah. That's their nationality. But even so, I can say my sister, for example, she was tired of doing my niece's hair. She couldn't do hair, so she locked her hair up at 5 years old.
Yeah.
And me as, Auntie Tata Meggie, I did her hair. So I was personally offended when she did that to her hair because she's taking away something that I once shared with my auntie and she did my hair. And now you're taking that away from me. Of course, I'm not her mother. I disagree with her decisions as what she did with her child's hair. But she, informed my niece that as soon as you get of age, you can do whatever you want with her hair. And my niece is 7 now, and she already said as soon as she gets her hair, as soon as she's of age, she gonna have hair like Tata.
Right. But see, I think what hurts your sister's decision is because she made it to dreadlocks. Like it's one thing to like have your kid's hair just be its hair, and when she get old enough, do whatever. But once you lock it up, I mean, you take away a lot. You take away a lot of options outside of wearing that look. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
that's the same look that you're referring to, the African look.
No. But locks are a style. Is what I'm saying. It's a locked in style, as opposed to if you just wore an afro. That's you could.
But listen, Rudy, if you just wear an afro every day and you a lazy motherfucker, your hair gonna lock up anyway.
No, but this is my point. What I'm saying is, when you were saying that you disagree with your sister having her lock up her daughter's hair, what I'm saying is like I agree with your disagreement, but to the extent of because that takes away even more choices. What I'm saying, because like if she ever wanted to like do something with just her loose wild hair, that's never an option because she has a style of individual locks in her hair, as opposed to if she had just her hair grow out. That's even more option than just what dreadlocks give you. Is the point that I'm making.
I feel like it's the same thing with getting your hair relaxed. If I get
Right.
my hair relaxed, that's permanent.
Right.
I cannot have curly hair again until my hair grows out.
Right.
It has to fully grow out, or I have to cut it.
Right.
Same thing. It's the same thing with locks. Now with locks, it's like I said, it's locked in.
Mm.
Cases you can comb out your locks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're gonna lose
How much you gonna lose a lot of hair?
Yeah. But I mean, it is so to say a permanent hairstyle unless you cut it or grow it out.
Right.
Basically, she loses the option also of having her hair curly and out. So, I mean, it all falls again to management.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't manage her hair.
Yeah.
Gave her a permanent hairstyle.
Exactly. Right. And the same thing with perms. Growing up, our mothers could not manage our hair. So my sister, she took the natural route as to being able to manage her, her daughter's hair. But our parents, our moms, we had perms when we was 7, 6.
I've had custom clients who had relaxers since they were 4 years old.
So toxic.
Yeah. And sometimes in some cases it can permanently damage your hair. Do you guys know what hair is?
So who?
Nair.
Nair?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's basically what a relaxer is.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it smells the same way.
So like some girls have permanent hair loss because of those chemicals.
Wow.
But it causes other health issues also. And in some cases, if you're not getting it properly done, also that's another thing. Right. Going to a not putting that chemical right, or you doing it at home by yourself. Yeah.
So I got one last question before we move on to, I guess, more or less what's considered natural, what's not natural. My last question in reference to the whole European style weave and hair and wigs, so on and so forth. Being the fact that conditioning has happened for just say Black women or whoever, the world, in reference to just having the straight hair. Do you think it's like? Do you think it's okay for whatever reason? Maybe it's to the degree of life will just go on, or just whatever. I don't know how you would necessarily take it, but just does it sit well with you if I guess if that conditioning continues? And the reason why I'm asking, because it definitely will, and Meggie, we talked about this before, like it definitely will, unless like the people who are the representation, who the kids or whatever see on TV, unless they were to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Or people who are more in the spotlight or have more influence just in general, because everybody, male or female, you're going to follow what your heroes do. I talked about it before. Back in the day, I wore Air Force Ones because they said it. I wore white tees, throwback jerseys, all of that. I did it. I followed everything. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what influence does to you. You know what I'm saying? You see it, you want it. Like a guy, if a dude in the movie had a certain haircut and you've seen a bunch of women like it, you'll see all the men start getting that same thing. So there's that conditioning happens when it comes down to influence or whatever. So I get it, but shall we just go on with like, let's just wear the straight weave and just and just deal with it, or should there ever be like an actual stance of like to get it to the point so that when a Black woman does make that choice, it really is just a choice of, like you said, I don't want to put this color on my hair or whatever like that. Because I feel like if it's ever at a point of choice, that's a safe place, because that's just me saying, oh, today I feel like apples, today I feel like oranges, as opposed to saying I need apples because I want to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? That's a different thing. So I guess this long-winded question is basically saying, I'm thinking of more stuff like as I'm asking it, but the point I'm making is, like, for you guys personally, do you think that like a full-blown stance should be made to get to that point of choice, or do you think we should just ride the wave and hopefully something will gradually happen or something?
I think women are gonna always do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, I mean, I think now there is more representation of Black women wearing their natural hair a lot, especially on TV. So I feel like, I mean, as a stylist, I get people who ask me questions like, "Oh, can you do this style?" And it'll be, of course, a natural style, and it'll be a picture of Issa Rae,
Right.
or something like that, or Zendaya, or Janelle Monáe. I those pictures like, "Oh, I want this style. Can you do these natural styles?" And I think more and more people are looking at that and wanting to, like, okay, I want to step out and I want to start doing it. I want to start.
Right.
I get a lot of new clients also who say, well, I'm looking for someone to treat my natural hair. I want to start wearing my natural hair. But sometimes people don't know who to go to.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about hair. They don't know what to do. They don't know what curl pattern they don't. A lot of girls don't even know how often should they wash their hair.
Right.
I get that question all the time. Oh, how often should I wash my hair? All the time.
Right.
The time. There's no
wash it.
Yeah, wash it. If it's itching, go wash it. It's dirty, go wash it.
Right.
You have too much product in your hair, go wash your hair.
Right.
A lot of women don't know that our hair needs water. And wash it.
Right.
I think more right now it's getting knowledge and finding a professional that's gonna help you and guide you throughout your natural hair journey. If you really want to step out of your, of that Europeanness.
Right. For sure.
I want to say, to answer your very long-winded question, I think we're on the track to eradicate the necessity to have European styled hair. Because Grace just named 3 natural haired actresses. Now, granted, Zendaya is mixed, but
biracial, right. But she's still rocks like the curly, natural.
Yeah, you named Issa Rae and Janelle Monáe, which look like both of us.
Right.
Okay?
Sure.
And the majority of what we see on TV, granted to the Issa Raes and the Janelle Monáes, you're not going to see them with a weave on TV. No. And if you do, it's going to be textured. Okay. The only time, since we're talking about Issa Rae, the only time she had a weave in her hair on TV was the movie The Photograph, which was meh. But we're not talking about movies right now. So I feel like we are on a steady track because, the natural hair movement took over maybe, we'll say, 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the natural hair movement came
big and
right. So women have, a lot of people did the big chop. A lot of people transitioned and cut them little frayed dead ends. And a lot of women are embracing their natural hair. And we're in 2021. Now, granted, it took goddamn a long time.
Right.
But you don't see, just for me, I don't know if they're out of business, but you don't see commercials for just for me.
Or now that I think about it, you really don't
see that.
But I'll say this: a lot of those, most companies now are taking the natural route. Now, what's one company that went? I think there was Just For Me who has a natural hairline now.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, the natural.
Yeah.
A lot of companies who did. Only did the maybe the relaxers and texturizers. They've moved to okay, well, people are going natural now. They want natural products. Anything that says natural, people are buying.
Right.
I think these companies are taking that route because no one's really buying relaxers no more.
Yeah.
Even the bigger brands like Mazzani and all the brands that used to sell relaxers and texturizers. People are not really buying them like that no more.
Right. And it's the change that's happening, I said this last time when me and Rudy was talking on Netflix. I don't know if you watched it, Grace, but Bridgerton. I'm going to talk about this queen. You watched it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to give you no spoilers or nothing, but let me talk about this queen, main character, ruler of all of Bridgerton. Was done up and you know, coiffed and pearls and I think you should watch it just because of that aspect. You should just watch the show just for the queen. And I'm going to tell everybody to watch that show just for the queen because she's really, if you want to see black hair on TV,
right,
this is how you do it.
Right. Gotcha.
So yeah.
I'll check it out just for that matter. So Grace, let me ask you this. What is considered natural, like in the sense of somebody is saying I'm only using my hair, whether it's straight, curly, whatever, what automatically takes that away, and what if you do straighten or whatever like that, what still is considered like, yeah, I can do this, straighten it, but this is still just wearing a natural I guess hairstyle or whatever.
Having any chemicals at all in your hair, none whatsoever. It's just your natural hair. Whether you straighten it, your hair's still natural.
Right.
My hair is colored, it's pink. So technically it's not considered natural, but I still have curls.
Right.
Like if I wet my hair right now, it's gonna poof up. But natural is just when you haven't used any chemical processing for your hair. Basically, your hair is just completely just what it is in your head. Gotcha.
And so the how does it work in reference to, like, just say a black girl who just, I guess, is flat ironed or whatever. I'm not sure what the term is, but when you straighten your hair, is there something that you have to like spray on or whatever like that to help keep it that way, or does you just have to just wear it until it poofs back up and then you just done?
I mean, of course, we spray heat protectants and stuff, and product on the hair for temporary use.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a soap press, a flat ironing, or if you straighten your hair, it's gonna last. It all depends on your hair, the weather, your lifestyle.
Gotcha.
I mean, like I said, you are still considered natural. Your hair is just straightened.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just use products to keep it from getting poofy. But if someone wants to put a bucket of water in my head right now, my head would get poofy.
And then you're on site.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, but those just say temporary products. That's not the same as chemicals in reference to taking it out of the natural form.
Yeah, those are two different things.
Gotcha.
One is this is temporary. What's in my hair is temporary.
Right.
Now, if I was to relax my hair, that's more permanent. I would have to maybe 6 months to a year for my hair to grow out, or I would have to cut my hair in order to get that chemical out of my hair.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, Meggie, you pretty much said the same thing as far as you like. As soon as you get the perm, it's automatically canceled as far as being natural. So
yeah. And then since we were talking about my sister earlier, dreads is natural. When you braid your hair, you're adding extensions, but you're not chemically altering your hair or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you just, it's a protective style. You have to protect the natural.
Right.
Yeah, you can elaborate on that, because I know we had a little bit of a debate on what's considered protective styles and such, me and you, Rudy. And I said that, a protective style such as a wig is just basically putting on a hat,
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Right. But be specific, Meggie. It wasn't a wig. We're still talking about the European style wig.
Oh God.
The choice of the wig. It was never a wig that was the problem. The weave and wig has never been an issue in reference to coming up in the topic. It was always the look of it. And once again, I don't think you're a bad person if you wear European style weave. But I do think that, everybody's woke now. It's much more cooler to be black these days. So it's like everybody's pushing this black agenda. And I don't know if I said this to you, Meggie, or I said this to somebody else, but to me, it's the same contradiction of saying, hey, let's buy black, but then, like you're not supporting the black clothing line. Like you said, buy black, but like you just go to the restaurant, but you're still spending $50,000 on Dior or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, once again, you're not the devil for buying that stuff, but that don't match with what we're saying is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because there's enough, you think about this, there's enough Black millionaires and billionaires, there could be a clothing line that's as valuable as whatever else that somebody else is buying. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just put their money together and do whatever. So it's not that we couldn't have it, but we would just prefer to spend our money on something and have, you know, these different symbols that kind of, you know, bring this type of, you know, whatever. And like I said, that's male or female. So what I'm saying is, if it's a choice, if like I got, and I'm no shade, I'm just literally just using this name for context. If I buy Masterpiece stuff and I buy, you know, Christian Dior, that should just be a choice of, I like these pair of shoes and I like these pair of shoes, and that's whatever, as opposed to, nah, I ain't doing this because that's whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, every fashion designer we had, they died as far as like they clothing line. FUBU, everything, Sean John, Fab, anything we had, it never lasted. But all of these other brands have been around for forever and will continue to be around because, I mean, one keychain is $350. You know what I'm saying? So, but so that's my whole, I guess, aspect. Even when to come back to the weave. Once again, I don't think anybody's a bad person for doing it, but because we do have this conditioning, especially as Black people, and we have been set back even mentally. My question is always, then what can we do to get us to the point of choice as opposed to we feel like we have to? That's my whole spiel. That's it. that's my whole spiel. I will ask you one more. I got one more question for you, Grace. In going back to the locks. Do you know? Just, and you may not have the answers, but just because you're kind of just more in hair than I am, do you know why they, I guess, recently, I guess, did the whole stigma of not calling them dreads anymore, but now locks, and that whole situation? Like, it's like almost like I guess a slur to just dreads.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Some people do get offended by the word dread because of the meaning of. I mean, it's not a dread. It's locked.
Right.
What someone told me, and even I stopped using the word dreads. I just say lock, and I stopped because it is more professional to say lock than it is to say dreads. But I mean, even in our book, in our Cosmo book, it was there as dreads/locks at one. But I think it's just changing the stigma of just calling them locks because they are locks instead of calling it a dread, like, oh, it's a dread. Yeah, exactly. So just changing that stigma, and a lot of and like I said before, growing up in a Haitian household, my brothers were not allowed to have hair.
Yep.
They weren't allowed to grow. They were not allowed to grow their hair. Even my boyfriend, who was also Haitian, I remember I did his locks. This was a couple of years ago when I started his locks, and 2 weeks later, he combed his hair out. And I was like, why did you do that? I was upset. Like, I worked all day. Like,
right.
Not an easy process.
I was like, why would you do that? And he told me, because my father told me that if I don't comb my hair out or wash my hair, I got to move out. And I said,
wow.
Yeah, literally. So I was like, okay, I can't argue with him.
Right.
But
that Haitian complex is so crazy because as soon as a man dreads their hair, they're
dirty.
Vagabond.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word.
A fragabond?
Or vagabond.
What is that?
Vagabond, a hoodlum, a thug, a miscreant.
But that low key. Now, if it because see, I didn't realize it was because of that. Like, I don't think as grown up as a Black American, my parents were never strict to the point of haircut like low as can be type of thing. But there was a point, especially just say late 90s, early 2000s, where they were like, nah, you're not wearing braids or whatever like that because we don't want you to look like thugs. You know what I'm saying? Like that I remember that being a thing, even with a mom from Chicago and a dad from Florida. So I think that even probably was even more widespread. I think probably even more strict with Haitian, because like I eventually grew it out like as a teenager type of thing, but for a while I know they were pretty strict on it. So that might have been just kind of just widespread, because that thug hoodlum thing is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I remember I tried to wear one pants leg up when I was younger, like LL Cool J. My mama slid that bitch right back down.
Well, you know, our parents mean well, but they just as dumb as we are, you know.
Trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my house. They couldn't have hair at all. They had to cut their hair. Like
Yeah.
military.
Yeah, it wasn't that deep. So
Yeah.
I get it. And so this is something you said earlier, and I wasn't clear on when you said that I know you said you grew up as the only girl, but growing up, you didn't get to just say do whatever you want with your hair, whatever. Like you just had to just thug it out until you got to that appropriate age, type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And what age was that? That was like out the house age, or was that like 16 or?
I'll say I got my first relaxer when I was in high school.
Gotcha.
Only because I personally begged my mom to relax my hair.
Right.
With all my friends, I went to North Miami Senior High School, and most of my friends had, you know,
a wrap.
Yeah, there you go, a wrap. And my mom, and then my mom relaxed her. My mom was natural, and then she relaxed her hair, and I was just like, well, you relaxed your hair. Why can't I? You know, why can't I do it? You know. And all I used to do was braids in my hair. That's all I wore was, you know, were braids. I was like, I want to be able to wear my hair, but I want to wear it straight all the time.
Right.
And let me do it. I was in high school and I did it, and I had the sickest silk wrap ever.
Period. That's why you're so good at them now.
Thank you. So true question. Like, I need y'all to answer this as truly as possible. I really just thought of this just as you were talking. You don't have to talk about anybody directly, just in your broad opinion. Is a Black woman really beautiful if she has, just say, her natural hair, but it's not the long enough, flowing, whatever? Like if it's like short, natural, and then she just really rocked that, like could she literally walk around like that and be okay as far as just like, you know, she can still be a man, she still whatever, or like would she really be scrutinized and be like dogged out?
No, I mean, I think women can be completely bald head and so gorgeous, beautiful, bold. I don't think it's hair. I think it's the person who you are. If you can rock, I feel like I love seeing bald women, because if you have confidence where you can cut all your hair off and strut these streets, I
can do it.
you are the sexiest woman ever for that. That's just pure confidence.
Right.
I think that's beauty, having the utmost confidence in yourself.
Now, I'm going to answer that question, but I'm going to agree with Grace. But at the same time, it's the men, okay? The men like a certain type of women, okay? Granted, we are in this transitional phase of the whole, we're all woke, we're all aware, but men are looking at what's on TV. And unfortunately, we're still in the phase where the only thing that's on TV that's attractive is, you know, the big booties with the lace weaves down to their butts or whatever. So yes, a woman can rock her fro picked out to the heavens, but she will meet a guy and he would rather straight hair, or he would rather the more, I'm going to say, the ratchet look, you know.
You know what's so crazy, and why I agree with you such 100% on that? That the men are probably helping apply the pressure, because I literally just thought about a TikTok that I watched that somebody had posted on Instagram though, and it was them doing the busted challenge. It was two girls, and you know the busted challenge is you go from basically ugly to bad,
right?
And literally, both people in that video had their natural nappy hair on the ugly part, and on the beautiful part, they had long, straight hair, weave in it. Yeah. I literally just thought about it as you was talking.
You should find it and edit it in.
I want to put their faces out. I'm sure you can get multiple. I'm sure that happened multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides just them two. But this is somebody who I knew personally. Like said, I followed them, so that but it made me think about that. Like, it really was. And what was so crazy was the comments that they were getting. People didn't even realize those were the same people. And I'm not even joking. Like, people were commenting, was like, yo, who was the first two people? and the second two. Like they didn't even realize it was the same person, and they literally they came from their natural nappy hair to the weave in the bucket challenge. I swear, I swear. And that's what my problem is. You feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like we who have the right mindset and understand, we can be as encouraging as we want to, but unless there is really a mindset change, this is just going to continue. It really is, whether it's pressure from the men or whatever the case may be. I'm not putting the burden or the blame on the Black woman, but whatever the different things that's causing that, that want to happen, I think those need to be, just say dimmered down as much as possible, at least, because it's going to continue. Because like I said, even with Buster Challenge, like somebody come out with another challenge, like you're doing it subconsciously. You're not purposely saying whatever, but you're like, oh, let me go from ugly to bad bitch, and that was your definition without even, what I'm saying. So that okay, I'm off my soapbox.
That falls into being conditioned, right? Feeling like your natural hair is ugly and that you have to have straight hair, or you have to wear weave to feel beautiful.
Right.
Well, Rudy, let me ask you this question. So if you had a daughter, would you implicate the natural haired movement to her?
If I had, so I'm gonna say don't take this with a grain of salt, because you can always say one thing now that you have a kid and your mind completely changed. So I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know how me having a daughter would change my mind. And she, baby looking at her face and you'd be like, okay, baby, do what you want, whatever. But in my opinion, right now, I would not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily force it, but I would definitely have these conversations with her mom, in reference to like. Getting that understanding very, very, very early. You know what I'm saying? And when I say understanding, meaning like not only just saying like, yeah, this is your hair, you're beautiful, but at the same time, like understanding that other people don't necessarily think this though. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to understand that like what you see in the mirror, everybody don't necessarily have to agree with. You just have to still be able to stand in this. You know what I'm saying? If whatever choices you make, like that's just okay, you grow to this next level in your life, and it's okay, it's just a different fashion choice. But I would try to steer it in that direction as much as possible. So once again, if she ever does put a straight weave or whatever in her hair, at least as much as possible, I would try to get it to the point of what we talked about earlier of her just actually having a choice as opposed to whatever. But I would not want her to
But
to think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And to, as mothers and stylists also teaching these young girls that you can wear your natural hair like this and still be beautiful. Let me teach you some styles that you can wear for yourself. Because no one wants to wake up with a frizzy ass afro sometimes. Want to polish it.
Put it in a pineapple. That's what I do.
Yeah. Sometimes you get bored with our hair.
Right.
Yeah. We want a little something.
Right. No,
like,
I do.
When it comes to these young girls, we gotta teach, like, let's have fun with it. Let's play with this. Let's teach them natural hairstyles. 2 puffs. Play, do your edges, girl. Let's do a heart-shaped ponytail. Something. Right. This.
And find more hats that are that have that same.
Yeah. I mean, because not every woman is born with a head full of hair. Some people have really thin hair.
For sure.
Oh, some people have really thick hair, and some people don't. And it's okay to add. If you find some curly hair extensions, yeah, go ahead, put it in there. Right. Just the point is to have fun, but accept yourself at the same time.
Amen.
Facts. For sure. Well, I'm satisfied. I think this was a great conversation. I think this is a great conversation. And Grace, you've been a wonderful guest. If you have anything that you want to plug, your business, Instagram, websites, anything like that, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. So my Instagram is BlessByGrace. And if you want to book an appointment, you can just call me or text me. My phone number is 786-416-2715.
Awesome. Rudy, are we not asking the final question? I mean, that is the title of the show.
I mean, it is, but I mean, I did think about that, but I mean, it's you know, I don't.
It don't fit. I'm an accent.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Grace, the name of the show is "Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch?" And since we're talking about embracing, you know, yourself individually, and you know, teaching children, teaching the young girls to be, you know, be proud of themselves. The word bitch is thrown around so often in casual conversation. You're, you know, mad at somebody, you calling somebody to tell somebody to tea, what have you. So the question is, do you mind if I call you bitch? And that's in form of, you know, male, female, gay, straight. How do you feel about the word bitch? And do you mind if people call you that?
Wow. I mean, it depends how you saying it. Like bitch, like, let me tell you, like, okay. I mean, I think let's change it up a little bit, you know? Like, I mean, the meaning of a bitch is a female dog, and I'm not that.
Right.
So, Jesus, I have to answer with a yes or no?
No. You don't have to, because it's so broad, but that's
right.
I have to ask you.
I use the word bitch, and I have called my friends bitches, but in a good way. Like, you know, you got, like, you got girls. I love you guys. You know.
What if your man calls you a bitch?
No, it's over.
What if you're going out and then you come out the room and he's like, "Damn, you a bad bitch."
Okay. Then.
She said, "Okay."
The word bitch is very subjective. We can all agree to that. And it's all in context, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Cool beans. Meggie Maz, go ahead and plug yourself.
All right, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Meggums. That's at MEGGUMZ. And you can go to my YouTube page, Spa. That's MMMSPA. And you can find my web series called Maggie's Magical Massage, Home of Spa, which is based on massage and massage parody and the crazy shit that I go through as a massage therapist. And also, you can find my music video by Nutmeg called Magic Pussy, which is in the intro of this podcast.
Yeah. All right. My personal is at Rudy Willy Nilly Wonka, but most importantly, follow us at the Chocolate Podcast Network. That is where this show is on YouTube and on Instagram. And yeah, man, follow us all, support us all, because we Black and we say so. You know what I'm saying? But oh, I took off the wrong band. I'm sorry. But Grace, we really appreciate you pulling up on us. I mean, you are outstanding guest. Lord have mercy. I'm clicking on everything wrong. I'm sorry. It's a lot to click over here, for real. Like it's like to try to talk and click stuff. But like I was saying, Grace, no, we really appreciate you. Feel free to come back anytime, even if it has nothing to do with hair. You know what I'm saying? This podcast, you know, we just happen to go the hair route, and you are our
go-to.
You know, as far as like putting a pin in it so we can just move on. You know, like we're gonna go on to something else from here, but we wanted to bring in an expert, and so we were definitely glad to have you. So we really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much, and I'll be calling you, girl. I'm back in town. All right.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week.